Yo, time to vape. So, okay, so that was a little crazy. So I want to talk about why I vape and when I started and how it has helped me. So, if you had followed my Automacedo channel, you would see that it was earlier in this year, 2016, that I was having like a lot of health related problems, and I was thinking about stopping making videos for a while on there because I just couldn't really continue with making them because I was just having all this physical body pain and all these health problems. And something else that was happening is I was having these breathing problems where it was very difficult to like breathe in all the other way. There was like a lot of constriction in my chest. And I don't really remember how I came across it, but I mean, I had it like there were multiple things that I had tried to help with my breathing, such as exercises and stuff like that. And I ended up coming across an herb called mullein, mullein, that it can help with like breathing problems. And the best way of actually getting it in is to actually breathe it directly into your lungs. So usually you would do that smoking. And you know, I do not agree with smoking. I'm not going to smoke. I don't want any kind of smoke in my lungs because it doesn't matter how you do it or what you're smoking. I just don't think that constant exposure to smoke of any kind is healthy for the lungs and the body. Cigarettes are definitely very bad, but it doesn't matter what you're smoking, you're still breathing in smoke. So that is when I looked into a vaporizer. And this was the first one that I got, which is a piece of crap one. I have a different one now, which I'll talk about in a minute here. But this one was just a piece of crap. But it was very cheap, which is why I started with it. But here is like the herbs that I use. I got this blend of herbs, and I have a ton of it because it'll last me forever. But let me see if you can see it here. It's the Herbal Smoking Blend by Mountain Rose Herbs. It contains all these herbs here, but the first ingredient is the mullein, mullein, which is very, very good. Plus all these other ones that have different properties and everything, but it was mostly the mullein that I was interested in. But I saw this, and it was like a mix of all these different things. So like, oh, that looks pretty cool. So I will get that. So this will probably last me forever because there's so much in it. It's like I hardly even used any. Because you don't need much when you're actually using it in a vaporizer. So as I said, this was the first vaporizer that I got just to check it out. It's this like little tiny pen, and you can use it for a ground material. You just put it inside here, as you can see, and you know you don't have to just be vaporizing like some kind of liquid with like nicotine in it. You don't have to vaporize just marijuana, which those are usually like the two most common things. Like when I was researching this, and I'm looking for these devices, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a smoker trying to get off smoking, or gonna vaporize the weed, no, but vaporizing definitely, I think, helps a lot of people who want to kind of quit smoking or kind of cut back, because it is definitely a much healthier alternative to like smoking cigarettes. It really is, because you're not breathing in all those other chemicals. So that's a very good, and I'm very much for like more herbs than like oils and stuff, because when you're actually utilizing the whole herb, you're getting more benefit than just like an extract from it, or just like some kind of oil with artificial flavorings and nicotine. You know, I'm not for that at all. You know, if it helps someone get off smoking, then that's great, because I have read about that. I've known people who have done that. But again, it's like I worry about like the artificial flavors that are in there, because you have all these crazy flavors, and it's like, are they natural? And then you also have the nicotine, which the nicotine by itself, very highly addictive and not healthy. So I'd use this vaporizer. This is just a pen. It's called like the G pen. It was like $20, super cheap, because I just wanted to try it out. And basically, because of how cheap it like burned the herb. So I'm not sure if in the introduction you could see some of the vapor, but it was more like smoke than it was vapor. It was like burning the herb. So it's like a like a cigarette almost, like you would just burn it. And I didn't like that, because it made the herbs taste horrible. Like, oh my gosh, it's so disgusting. And the vapor from it was like very warm. It would irritate my throat and my lungs. It's like, oh no, I can't do this. So that's when I found out about conduction versus convection vaporizers. I did not refresh my memory, so hopefully I am getting this right. A conduction vaporizer, which is what many of them are, is when the herbs are pretty much directly touching the heating element, which causes them to be more than just vaporized. They do kind of burn a little bit. Whereas a convection, it uses warm air to heat the herbs, so it's not actually burning them at all. And that's what I wanted to look into, but most of those were just desktop units. Like it wasn't any portable unit until I found the one that I have here, this is the Firefly 2 vaporizer. And this one is very pricey. It's definitely one of the higher end ones, but it was definitely the one that seemed to be the best in regard to it being a pure convection. And what's nice is that you open it up here, it says all glass here. So it's a very much cleaner taste than the other one. I mean, it was such a huge difference using this one over that crappy one. And I'll tell you this, when I vaporized this in a new vaporizer, I've actually made tea out of these herbs. The tea tasted exactly the same as the vaporizer. So that goes to show it's not really burning the herb. Whereas this crappy one, it doesn't taste anything like it. It just tastes like burnt garbage. So I want to show you how I use this here. And well, first I should just say how it's helped. It has helped a lot, because when I first started doing it, I used this one and I wasn't really a fan of it. And I think I used it a little bit, but I was concerned about breathing in all this darn smoke. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to do that. But I think it did help then even a little bit, because even smoking these herbs that I just showed you is very beneficial for the lungs. So again, I wouldn't recommend it all the time, but occasional. It's a very powerful herb for healing lung-related issues. So then when I got this in early 2016, I was using that much more frequently, and whenever I had like any kind of restriction in my chest, it just immediately cleared, like as soon as I did that. It was just absolutely amazing. I was like, wow, because there's like no reason why I'm having these problems, because I've had x-rays done, I've had tests done on my lungs and chest area, and there's nothing wrong. So I really do not know what it is. I mean, it could be like some kind of like tight muscle in the area, but that wouldn't explain why the vaporizer helps. But then again, the vaporizer really helps you kind of focus more on your breathing. You're kind of breathing in and then you're letting out. So it's kind of like you're breathing in some kind of healing herb, and then you're letting out and letting all that whatever, that tightness and that negative energy just kind of out. So, you know, that's definitely something that I've become more aware of since I've started doing this. So I want to actually show you this one here. And also I do have an actual oil you can use. You can use both herbs and oils with this. So I wanted to show you both because I have used an oil with it, which produces a lot more vapor. This doesn't really produce much vapor with the herbs. I think it could just be the herbs because I've tried other herbs. Like I've had mugwort and eucalyptus. I do not like the eucalyptus. It really irritates my throat. But the eucalyptus and the mugwort do produce more vapor. It's just the mullein doesn't. I think it's because, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's like very like a fluffy kind of cloud-like substance. So it may not really even be able to work very well. But I also got like a grinder here for the herbs, and you pretty much put it on the inside here and you grind it. But you don't really need to grind too much with this vaporizer. But the most beneficial thing about this, let me show you. You have the herbs here, and there's like a little grate. I'm not sure if you can see, there's a little grate there. And beneath that grate is all these little particles. So if I didn't have this, I would be breathing that all in. That would go through this vaporizer and into my lungs, like all that pollen. And I've noticed if I don't put the herbs through here first and just get it right out of the bag and put it right in here, after I do this, I am just like congested. Like I just feel like this is just a ton of mucus and substance in my lungs. Like I've just just had, I guess because I do have some kind of allergies to a degree, but that was something else that I thought my lung-related issues were, that it was allergies. But it started happening in the winter months. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe when summer rolls around, it'll stop. But it was still the same. It didn't get any worse. It didn't get any better. So it wasn't really related. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some of this in here. You don't need much of it. Another cool thing about this is it has an app on your phone that you can change the temperature. You can't like get like a precise temperature or anything like that, but it does allow you to change that. You can also change a few other settings. It's very basic at this point, so it's not much to it. So I'm gonna put a little bit in here, and I'll show you how this is. It doesn't, as I said, this one doesn't produce much vapor. It is the oil, which I will show you that after this. Okay. So this literally heats up within seconds. So I'm going to show you here. So I have the herb in here, so you can actually see it, and that can be bad if you don't want the herb to be visible. But yeah, basically, you just hold down the buttons on the side here, and there's a green light. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's like glowing. And once it turns solid, it'll be ready. So there you go. It is solid now. So and it's such a huge difference in the taste compared to this. Oh my gosh. It's a huge difference. So usually like the first time there isn't as much flavor, but past there is. And it does, if you're seeing like how long I was breathing in, it has like a lot of resistance, so you need to breathe in for a while. Like they recommend at least like 10 seconds. When you hold the buttons, it'll stay on for like 30 seconds, and I've done that. I've not noticed any difference in any more vapor production. So I just usually do it for about 10 to 12 seconds. Is usually about good. And that also ensures that you're not wasting so much battery, because if you're holding it for the 30 seconds, you're wasting a lot more battery. And the battery does die fairly quickly. To be honest, it does. You can have battery levels on the app, but it's not accurate. So let me just again. So I'm not sure if you can hear it too. Like when I breathe in, you can usually hear like a sound. Not sure if you can see anything. I can't see anything. I can just taste it. That's how you just kind of know. So let me do it one more time, and then I'll show you the oil. Nope, nothing. But just immediately, it just feels like the pathway is so much clearer. So much clearer. So I am going to show you the oil now. They have, in order to use the oil, you put like this little pad in this part here, without the herbs, of course. And the best thing you can do is, there's a setting you can only change on the app to a concentrate setting. That helps it a lot. I've tried it on the next highest setting, which is high, and it just didn't perform as well as it does on the highest setting. So for those of you also who have followed my videos, I have been using CBD products for a while to help mostly with like my pain management and my fatigue due to my fibromyalgia and other types of pain causing problems. And you know, the CBD comes from the cannabis plant, so hemp and marijuana. And I do not have any kind of marijuana, you know, I have no way of purchasing marijuana. It's all legal hemp-related over-the-counter CBD products, like oils that you just, you know, put in your mouth and you consume and stuff like that, which it has helped a lot. But there's no way to actually vaporize, you know, the actual herb, because if you can't buy like the herb, because that would be marijuana then. Because as I said, I think that would be much more beneficial to actually use the herb versus an extraction, but that's the only option. So from the same brand that I got the oils that I use from, I also got this vaporizer blend. I'm not sure how well you can see it. But in this whole thing, it has 333.3 milligrams of CBD. It's also mixed with, because usually you need some kind of carrier solution. This is unflavored, so there's no flavor to it, which is good. But it's also mixed in with the vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol, which if I were to buy this again, I would make sure that it doesn't have the propylene glycol in it, because it has to have either or both. This has both, so I would probably avoid the propylene glycol in the future. I think just the vegetable glycerin would be all right, but yeah. So I will switch the settings and I will show you that. Hello there, I am back. I have the pad in here now, and they recommend to only use like two or three drops in this thing, because you don't need much. I only use 1 drop, otherwise it's too much, I think, because I think the propylene glycol can kind of dry out your throat, and that makes it kind of not very pleasant. So yeah, I shook it up a bit. I'm just going to get 1 drop in here. 1 little drop, that's all you need. All you need. And you'll definitely be able to see more of the actual vapor from this. Once it's, after I do it a few times, you'll see a lot of vapor. So, there's really not, like the taste of it is probably due to the propylene glycol or the vegetable glycerin, but not sure if you can see that. There's a little bit there, but usually the second or third time you see a lot more. So, it's hard to say how much this really does for me, because I don't know if it really helps much of anything. But I think it has like me like very tired. Like after I do it, I just like I'm like ready to go to bed within like 15 minutes after I do it. So yeah, if I feel anything, I'll definitely extend that on to the end of this. So. Go very slowly. So, yeah, you can taste it. And that one kind of like dried out my throat a little bit there. So I don't know how it'll compare to the non-propylene glycol one. I think that would probably be a lot better. It just kind of, if you don't drink like enough water between it or something, it just feels like it's just drying out your throat as you're breathing it in. You have to like do it very slowly. Otherwise, you're not going to have a good time. All right, so usually this one lasts pretty long too. So it is very nice. It can be very relaxing. So I guess probably like this may be the last time here. Okay, so I am going to stop the recording now. I'm going to finish doing this till there's no more of the vapor, because that's how you can tell when it's all done. There's still quite a bit there, but if I feel anything dramatic, I will record, because usually I can feel it within like probably I don't know, sometimes like 15-20 minutes. That's like the benefit usually of inhaling it, like smoking or vaping something over ingesting it, because you need a lot less of it, and it usually happens like almost immediately, like you feel the effects. Can't say I notice the effects of this like immediately, probably because it just kind of builds up as you're doing it. I don't know, probably because there's maybe not much in here, it's not highly concentrated, I don't know. But that is kind of why like people would smoke and just like breathe things into their lungs, because it's like even like aromatherapy, you're breathing in some kind of scent, and you know those little tiny particles will go into your body, go into your lungs, and you know it kind of you become like a vibrational match to that oil, that plant, or whatever you are breathing in. So yeah. That was one last time. So there isn't much left, so that was probably it. So, as I said, if I feel anything, I will update, and otherwise, I will talk to you later, and thank you for watching this very, very long video about me vaping. So, if any of you watch this far, say something to me like, "You are one silly chick." And then I'll see just how many people watched it to the end, okay? Alright, bye-bye. Hello, I am back with an update here. I guess it's been about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. Because I feel very relaxed. I was having a lot of like pain up in like my neck and my upper back and stuff like that. And when I do this stuff, it definitely helps the pain a lot. Like it feels like it's like numb down the pain, and it's not as bad as it was. So I'd say it help with that. I feel kind of sleepy. Want to lay down in bed, but then again, I'm always sleepy a lot of times. I really am. So that's really nothing new. So yeah, this is going to be the end here. I'm going to head off to bed. And I will talk to you all later, okay? Say goodbye again to... there he is, Santa Rat. Santa Rat. Say goodbye to the boy. Okay. Bye-bye.